What's up, everybody? Another JWT morning here. The sun's right in my face. Riding into work, and the news today, they found Aaron Hernandez dead in his prison cell. Aaron Hernandez was a former tight end for the New England Patriots, convicted of the murder of Odin Lloyd, serving life with no parole. He was also accused and acquitted last week of a second double murder. So just a sad story, of a guy who had it all, had just signed a $40 million contract right before this happened, and ends up, murdering somebody, still hanging out with some of the bad influences that he grew up with. And when I hear people say that, I always got to laugh, because maybe Aaron Hernandez was the bad influence. You never know. But one of the things that they talked about in the story, and kind of the point that I'll go with today, I read a quote that said, the first step to get where you're going, you have to leave where you've been. And that just reminded me of this situation, because Aaron Hernandez grew up in Bristol, Connecticut, ended up getting drafted by the New England Patriots, which are, of course, close to Bristol, Connecticut. So here you got a guy that's basically playing football professionally, an hour and a half where he grew up from. So he was still close enough to some of those bad influences, where say he had been drafted by the San Francisco 49ers and he was playing on the other side of the country, would he have got into that same trouble? Maybe, probably, but at least he wouldn't have had those same familiar friends that he grew up with to get him into that. So it reminds me of advice I gave to a guy one time. He had moved off and he was gone somewhere else, and he was trying to get away from some of those bad influences that he grew up with. And the advice I gave to him was, when you get there, you'll find the same people. They'll just have different names. And if you're smart, you'll go out there and them when you see them. Stay away from those kind of people, because if you're not careful, you'll wind up right back here, because you'll go out there and you'll get in trouble. And so that's my advice for this morning. Sometimes to get where you're going, you got to leave where you've been. Now that might not mean avoid a double murder conviction for the rest of us. It could mean something simpler, where you're just around negative people, or you're around people that don't bring out the best in you. And that's all part of the website Just Win Today. We're trying to come up with ways to make today a good day, and I think we can all relate to that concept of try to leave those negative people behind. Sometimes it's hard to do because they're people we love, but that's the talk for today. So I hope everybody has a good day. JWT.